Okay, a box has arrived from Sweet Candy for You. So let's open this up and take a look. I ordered this about a couple of weeks ago because there's some interesting things in here. Well, let's just have a look. Let's not spoil the surprise. So, I've got a sachet of Kool-Aid. I'm going to see if I can get this right this time. Last time I had this, it wasn't... Yeah, I didn't read the instructions carefully enough, and I didn't add sugar. I didn't know you had to, because this is not how we make drinks in the UK. And so, yeah, I made it without any sweetener, and it was awful. But apparently you have to put sugar in there. There you go. Peach mango. I couldn't get grape this time, but there it is. French vanilla Jello pudding. And pudding in the United States means essentially custard. In the UK, pudding means just about anything. But anyway, vanilla pudding. Dr. Brown's natural flavour black cherry soda. And in case you're wondering why I got this and not this, I did get this. So, Dr. Brown's natural flavour celery soda. So this is a celery flavoured soda. This is going to turn up on Weird Stuff in a Can. In fact, you've probably already seen it by now, because this, I'll be doing the Weird Stuff in a Can with this before this unboxing video gets published. Ranch style beans with sweet onions. It's just a tin of beans. $2.99. I can't remember if I don't think I did pay $2.99 for this, actually. I don't think I paid $2.99 for a tin of beans. But just thought it might be interesting to have something that's a bit different. Kraft macaroni and cheese. Surprisingly difficult to get hold of in the UK. Macaroni cheese, or macaroni and cheese dinner. Yeah, just difficult to obtain in this form in the UK, but managed to find it at this Sweet Candy for You. And finally, stovetop cornbread stuffing mix. So yeah, not totally sweet, this consignment. Now, I did order one more thing, because while I was on their website, I stumbled across a product called mkjk, which had a price of $0, so I wasn't going to not add that to my basket. And I added it and checked out, and it was on the order confirmation that they sent me, that they were sending me mkjk, but well, I don't see any mkjk in the box here, unless that's what this stuff is called. Seriously, I know what these are. These are interesting. These packaging peanuts are made from cornstarch, so technically edible, but also, if you lick them, you can stick them together. So there it is. That's the unboxing of the Sweet Candy for You order. This wasn't cheap, this lot. I can't remember exactly how much I paid for this, but I will put the prices on the screen right now. And yeah, that is going to be a Weird Stuff in a Can episode all on its own. There's an online bargain store that I sometimes shop from called Approved Foods, which sounds weirdly authoritarian and austere, but it's just a name. They specialise in selling off retail products that are close to, or sometimes beyond, their best before date. Now remember, best before is not an indication of when the products will become unsafe to eat. It's more about aesthetics, and sometimes it's just about stock rotation. Anyway, they emailed me to say they had some lucky boxes available. These are £1 each in price and will contain a selection of mystery items, probably stuff that isn't selling fast enough, or maybe has damaged packaging or something else like that. The incentive to buy the lucky boxes is that a few of them will contain a cash prize. Well, let's have a go. So I ordered a lucky box and a few other items, making up a total order of about £25. They have this thing called de-identified products. This is where they're reselling a brand product, but probably the brand owner didn't want to be mentioned on their website. Sometimes these are still branded when they turn up, and other times they've been delabelled. Like this can of soup I bought on a previous order. So here's the whole order. Pause if you want to scrutinise in detail. The most expensive item was this box of cereal snack bars for $5.99. And the most intriguing item was laser chopped tomatoes. Sounds excitingly sciencey. So I sat back to wait for my order to arrive, but you don't have to wait at all. Okay, my box from Approved Food has arrived. It's a huge box, as you can see. Let's open it up down here on the floor, and I'll unpack it onto the top of the freezer. So, boxes within boxes. Somewhere in here is my mystery box, which may contain a cash prize. So, a bit of polythene packing there. I'll reuse that for something. So, one of the products I got was a mixed box of hippies. And these are pea-based puffs. This one's called Take It Cheesy, and it's a cheese flavour sort of puff made from peas, but it doesn't contain any actual dairy. It's kind of fake cheese flavour. So that's good. Okay. Right, and then inside here we've got two boxes. I want a box within a box within a box. Right, washing up liquid. Schweppes blackcurrant flavour cordial. Juicy orange drink. Something like that. So, okay. This I think must be my mystery box because these are some products that I didn't order in there, I recognise. So I'm going to put that down the bottom. We'll open that last. Another box here. So, bacon rashers. Now this is de-identified, but presumably that's just a listing where they pick up surplus and near to date foods and then resell them. So the co-op, it did say de-identified. So these are crispy snacks that are bacon flavour. Crunchy granola, cornflake, Eat Natural, apple, ginger and dark chocolate cereal bars. More bacon rashers. Rasher, by the way, is just the name for a slice of bacon. Bombay mix. I love Bombay mix. It's really good, actually, if you smash it up and use it for breading chicken and things like that. Packs of trekking mix. You might know that as trail mix. 3 of those. Mild curry paste. Two of those. De-identified spaghetti in tomato sauce. And it really is de-identified, actually. They've got a kind of value label. It looks like this label's stuck over the top of something else. And then this one, I just thought it was listed as laser chopped tomatoes, but of course it's Laser the brand. It's not tomatoes that have been chopped by a laser. But I thought that was kind of funny. They were quite cheap anyway, so I bought 2 cans of those. And chunky lentil and bacon soup. So that's the end of the main box. So now we've got the mystery box to unpack. So let's have a look at that. So I've got some Cafe Direct decaffeinated tea in a kind of split box, but still usable. I've got some Shin Ramen spicy noodles. That's good, I like these. Got Birchall chamomile tea. Again, damaged packaging, but who cares? Divine deliciously creamy white chocolate. Broken bar. This is why it was in the bargain box, because it's bits that have got damaged packaging, or in this case, packaging's intact, but the bar inside is broken. Candy Kittens tropical mango gourmet sweets. Might have a little taste of those in a minute. Mano masa, chipotle and lime corn chips. Walker's ready salted. A can of Diet Pepsi. A packet of Frisps. $18.99 energy drink. Morrison's. A bottle of Voss water. Now, there was a time a while back when this was super expensive and everybody wanted it just because of the bottle. So, I don't know what was quite so special about it. It's just a bottle. Pistachios. Morrison's. Oh, it looks like the bag might have split and they've rebagged it. Kit Kat 2-finger. Nature Valley sweet and salty nut. and 3 Lindor balls. So no bonus cash in this box, but I'm not disappointed. Most of those things in that bonus box, which cost £1, were things I didn't order or wouldn't have ordered. So not bad for £1, all those damaged things. Stuff like this, pistachio nuts, where the bag is split and they've rebagged it. Because of the slight risk that this might have been, I don't know, contaminated in some biological way, I'm probably going to cook these pistachios. I'll probably use them in a recipe. I'll blend them up, obviously without the shells, and use them in some kind of cooking. So there we go, that's my little food haul from Approved Foods. It's quite a decent amount of food here actually, and so now I've got to put this all away. So I was eating some of these the other day. These are mango flavoured gourmet sweets. Very nice. And they're made in the shape of a cat's face because they're called Candy Kittens. And it just occurred to me that the ingredients don't include kittens at all. Now that might seem ridiculous, but when I've been reviewing fake meat and vegan food type products, we had a lot of feedback in the comments from people saying it shouldn't be allowed to be called meatballs unless it contains actual meat. And yet, here's a product I've never heard anybody complain about called Candy Kittens, and it doesn't contain any kittens. Now you might think that that's a ridiculous example, and perhaps it is. So let's have a look at another one. Pringles Piri Piri chicken flavour. And yet, when we look at the ingredients, there's no chicken in here at all. In fact, it's suitable for vegetarians. So this is made with paprika and oregano and all sorts of other flavourings, chicken flavour seasoning, which is maltodextrin, sugar, flavour enhancers, which is glutamates, various other bits and pieces, onion powder, garlic powder, bird's eye chilli, black pepper, smoked paprika, white pepper. So, oh, it's got milk in it, it's got lactose, but not chicken milk. So, there you go. So there's a product I've never heard anybody complain about, and yet it says chicken and it contains no chicken. And looking around, this is actually really common. And I don't think it's a problem. But what I'm curious about is why am I not hearing loads and loads of complaint about these things, but I am hearing loads and loads of complaint about meatballs that don't contain meat or sausages that don't contain pork. So here we go. Bold barbecue ribs, flavour potato crisps. Suitable for vegetarians. And they don't contain any ribs at all. They don't contain any pork or any meat at all. They're in fact suitable for vegetarians. And I think probably even vegans, these ones. Let's have a look. Yep, don't even see any dairy in that one. So there we go. There's another one. With this one here, this is Organic Hippies. This is cheese flavour, but not containing cheese, because they're actually dairy free. So they're flavoured with yeast, lactic acid, calcium carbonate, pepper, sunflower oil, rice protein, onions. So they've kind of mocked up a cheese flavour without using cheese, just using lactic acid and yeast powder. So, I don't know. My feeling is actually that this whole battle that people are trying to fight is already lost. This whole thing about sausages must contain meat, or else they shouldn't be allowed to be called sausages, or burgers shouldn't be allowed to be called burgers unless they contain a dead animal. The battle's lost already, because there are all these products that are already allowed to say kittens when they don't contain kittens, or they're allowed to say chicken when they don't contain chicken. Now it does say chicken flavour, and there is a distinction here in the UK. If it said chicken flavoured, then it would have to contain chicken. But nobody's trying to mislead anybody here. These products exist, and I don't hear anybody complaining. So, little update on the Loquat plants, my Loquat seedlings. They're in here. I made a tent of fleece for them in the autumn, and they've been in there all winter. That's in a pot, and that's its first winter outdoors, so I thought I'd give it a bit of extra protection. Often in winters, even down here in the south of England, they'll lose their leaves during a typical winter, and I wanted to try and give the plant a chance to acclimatise. We did have a bit of snow last night, and that's about as much snow as you typically get in winter here in the south of England. So anyway, that's the Loquat plants. They look like they've come through the winter okay. It's kept its leaves, and this fleece is not only just protecting it from wind and sort of icy rain, but it's also stopping the pot from getting waterlogged. So this sheds some of the water, and then when the temperature drops below 0, the pot won't freeze. So ideally I need to find a place to plant this out, but there isn't very much suitable area in my garden, so I've got to think some more about what we're going to actually do with this long term. So this object here is an oil pump for a car. I bought this in a charity shop a while back, mainly because I just found it really fascinating as a mechanism. So let's take a closer look at this in operation. So, well, it's got an input and output. It's got 2 involute gears in there which mesh together to pump the oil. And let's take a really close look at that. So looking at this, you can kind of intuitively figure out exactly how that would work to pump the oil, can't you? Except you might be wrong. So as I say, it's a beautiful piece of engineering, and these gears mesh together really beautifully, really smoothly and closely. And you might be tempted to think that as this rotates here, oil would be drawn in here, would pass through the middle and be pushed out there. That's what it looks like it's doing, isn't it? Except actually what's happening is the complete opposite of that. There's actually no path for oil through the middle here because these gears mesh so very tightly and completely. And so what actually happens here is this middle part here is sealed, it's closed. Oil can't go through this way. But what oil can do is to be carried around the perimeter in these little voids here. So actually if these gears are turning this way, the oil is being pumped in this direction because it's coming in here, it's entering into these little voids in the teeth here, going around the perimeter and then building up pressure in this cavity here and coming out of this hole here. So I thought that was really interesting actually, just that this thing appears to work in a specific way, but in reality what you're seeing is not intuitive, or at least it wasn't immediately so to me. But it's a lovely piece of engineering, and I kind of bought it really as a fidget toy because there's just something nice about these gears. I've cleaned them off a little bit, but intended to clean them off completely and have this on my desk, but it's just something very nice about the way those gears mesh together. I may one day use this in a project, although I haven't got anything in mind at the moment that needs pumping of oil or other similar fluids. But I would have to obviously make a plate for it and make some adapters for these holes because they're not threaded in any way, they're just push fit, I think. Or maybe, yeah, I think they just have some sort of push fit, or maybe this nestles into a cavity that contains all of the inlets and outlets. Don't know. Never actually taken an engine apart to see what the oil pump does. So there we go, lovely little bit of engineering that works in a way that's kind of counterintuitive, or at least it was to me. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.